ओम जय स्वाहा माता।
बोले श्री राजा रामचंद्र की जय. Devotees, there are 8,400,000 species of creation, of which the human form is the highest. To be born as a human being, we are all blessed. Bade bhagi manush anupava. And I hasten to add, as Sri Ram made that statement, there is no distinction, no differentiation. Human form, whichever form, doesn't matter what race, what color, what shape, what size, the human form. To be born as a human being, we are all blessed. So every person you see is a blessed person. But as the saying goes, what I am is God's gift to me, what I make of myself is my gift to my God. And the question really is, what do many of us make of ourselves to offer to God? Getting a gift is one thing, but making use of that gift is even more important. Now, the sages, and I focus on Tulsi Das, he made a statement to us. He said, before we were born, we said to our Lord, in his own way he's saying, give me a human form, O Lord, and I will worship you. Sadhan dham moksha ka dwar. Being born as a human being, the human form is to perform sadhan, spiritual discipline. Not just to enjoy. As many people very foolishly say, eat, drink, make merry, when you're dead, bury. Is that what a divine supreme intelligence put us here for? Just to eat, drink, make merry, when you're dead, bury? There has to be a higher objective. Higher objective. And it is sadhan, spiritual discipline. Why? To achieve sadhya, the highest objective, which is oneness with our Supreme Lord. Identifying with our true nature, which is divinity. Aham Brahmasmi. So devotees, through God's kindness, His mercy, His grace, we are born as a human being. However it may be, whether clear in color, whether dark in color, whatever modifications, but we are born as a human being. And Tulsi is saying, you know what happens to many of us? We tend to forget that vow we made to the Lord. Oh Lord, give me a human form, I will worship you. There are three main stages in life. Infant stage, youthful stage, and old age, which we all are confronted with. But not many face up to old age. In this age and time, they die much younger. But normally speaking, there are these three stages. What do we do with them? Tulsi Das, he reminds us. He's saying, O bhajan bin tinu pan bigari. 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 खात खेलत बालापन बीते, बोलत है तुतरी. खात खेलत बालापन बीते, बोलत है तुतरी. खेलत आंगन धूरी लपेटत, खेलत आंगन धूरी लपेटत. माता पिता दुलरी, हे माता पिता दुलरी. भजन बिन तीनू पन बिगड़ी. भजन बिन तीनू पन बिगड़ी. भजन बिन. So we are conceived within mother's womb, and approximately 9 months, some less, some more, we are carried by mother, living as parasites, a parasitic relationship of mother. So that divine compassion, His infinite mercy, put all systems in place to make sure that we come forth. And we are brought forth into the world as a new entity. Baby is born. Baby is born. Now let me digress for one moment to go to Kabir Das. Kabir Das has given us a wonderful bit of idea here, philosophy. Kabira, jab hum paida hue, jag hasi hum roye. ऐसी करनी कर चलो, हम हंसे जग रोई. Kabir Das, he saw, when a child is born, the first thing that child does is to cry. When you cry, you open your lungs, you take your first breath. And what happens, the observation is that when a child cries, then others laugh. You know, who are around, the child is born, they laugh in joy. Kabir sees it in a different point. When I am crying, the world is laughing. But aisi karni kar chalo, but I perform such karmas, such wonderful exalted karmas, that when I leave, I go laughing, and I leave the world crying. So there's a difference from what happens when we start to cry, to what happens to the end. What is in between? Karma. Karma. So we come to karma now. I am brought forth into this world as the new entity, great joy, etc. Normally speaking, generally speaking. You have exceptions, of course. Exceptions to everything. Some children are dumped, they are abandoned, so their life didn't start too good. But most of us, we start our lives at an advantage. Love, the childhood stage begins. We are well protected. Love showered upon us. All our needs are taken care of. You know, plenty dulad, as we say, pet up. And you know, Tulsi is saying, this childhood stage passes away in such wonderful abandon, so to speak, gay abandon. No worries, no pressures, no trouble. Parents taking care of you. You think you have time to pray? Tulsi is saying, you made a vow. Give me a human form, Lord, I'll pray to you. But Tulsi is saying, you are born as a human being. As a baby, you begin your life's journey. Praying what? No time to pray. And even when you decide that I want to pray, you find most time Mama and Papa come in. You're too small yet. When they get big, you go pray now. Where you going temple today? Where you going here? Where you going there? No. So even they prevent you from performing your duty towards your God. Follow. Tulsi is saying, the infant stage passes by, and you have not yet repaid the debt of gratitude. You have not yet repaid the debt of gratitude. So now the second stage comes by. Troublesome stage, the youthful stage. Tulsi is saying,
Bhajan binati nupan bigari, bhajan bina. Jalm josh yubapan ayo, byahlai sundari. Jalm josh yubapan ayo, byahlai sundari. निषदिन हरिपद छोर भीमूरक निषदिन हरिपद छोर भीमूरक पियत विषय गगरी पियत विषय गगरी भजन बिनती नूपन बिगरी भजन बिनती नूपन बिगरी भजन बिन.
So we see in the first stage, sometimes even parents prevent you from doing what you're supposed to do. Out of love. They don't mean evil. But parents must think also that it's a debt each child has. And rather than discourage, encourage. A different perspective. Because if you don't, then that child is further and further in debt. So Tulsi is saying, the youthful stage comes by. Hormones begin to act up. You want your job, so you study, you get your qualifications, you get a good job, you want a house. Sometimes even before getting a house, you want a wife or a husband. You understand? What I keep saying, sometimes even when you go to temple, you go to church, you go to mosque, you think you really go to pray? And when you go to pray, what are you praying for? You're praying by you're eyeing somebody else. That's a good girl, boy. That's a good boy. Yeah? Your mind on what? Vishay, materialism. And sometimes you get old and still doing the same thing. Eh? It happens. Yeah, it happens. So Tulsi is saying, this youthful stage, you're caught up in the rat race of life. All you are concerned about pure material, you are drinking out of the pitcher of materialism. Piyata Vishay Gagari. Only material. Even when you pray, it's not really to seek God, but to ask Him, to beg Him, give me this, give me that, give me the next. Tulsi is saying, in this rat race of life, your second stage passes by, you're still in debt. You have not yet repaid your debt of gratitude. That vow that you made. The third stage, final stage comes by. What is it?
O bhajan binati nupan bigari bhajan वृद्ध भई अंग थाकन लागे कपपित वायु गिरे वृद्ध भई अंग थाकन लागे कपपित वायु गिरे तुलसीदास पछितात सेज पर तुलसीदास पछितात सेज पर तुलसीदास पछितात सेज पर अब हम क्या रे करे ओ अब हम क्या रे करे भजन बिन कीनूपन बिगड़ी भजन बिन कीनूपन बिगड़ी बिगड़ी कीनूपन बिगड़ी तीनोपन बिगड़ी बिगड़ी हाँ तीनोपन बिगड़ी हो तीनोपन बिगड़ी बिगड़ी तीनोपन बिगड़ी बिगड़ी तीनोपन बिगड़ी हाँ तीनोपन बिगड़ी भजन बिन तीनोपन बिगड़ी भजन बिन तीनोपन बिगड़ी भजन बिन
Final stage, old age. If the youthful stage comes with its attendant distractions and attractions, old age comes with its attendant ills. So you know what happens with old age? This is not knocking old age, but it happens to us. So the senses become debilitated. You can't see good, you can't hear good. Arthritis take hold of all the joint. Look around and see. So when you sit down, you can't get up. When you get up, you can't. When you stand up, you can't bend down. Problem. When Baba say, "Ha," you hear "na," because you can't hear good. Tulsi is saying the body becomes debilitated, senses degenerate. You know what happened now? You have plenty time. You're waiting to go. Society itself puts you out of pasture. Yeah, you no value. Society itself. Tulsi is saying that when you reach this kind of stage, you think you could really pray? When you can't sit for long, you can't concentrate. Time is in your side in the sense that you have time, you retire, nothing to do. But you can really concentrate and pray. When you have to do puja, you have to groan and go wrong. You have to groan more. Get a crane to pick you up when time to get up. Problems. Problems. You could pray. Where is your concentration? Tulsidas is saying, when that time comes, imbalance in kapha, pitta and vata, the three humors of the body, and everything falls apart, what can you do then? Ab hum kya re kare? Kya re kare? Samay na avar barambar, time, opportunity do not always come. This is why the scriptures say, ye ghari na jaye beet. Use every moment possible to try to find your Lord. Otherwise, you are going to regret it. You are going to regret it. So devotees, we have to pay particular attention to the opportunities that we have and understand you may not be aware of it. That, I made a vow to God that give me a human form, I will worship you. We might not be aware of it. But many of us devotees, we say so many things we're not aware of. And not past life, not this life. So what do you think about last life? You go, remember? But we have committed ourselves. And this is one of the reasons why many people live in problems. And they always come to that conclusion, somebody do them something. Or is obia, is this, is that, or the other. Devotees, sins of omission. There are sins of commission and sins of omission. You do something that is not right and proper, you commit sins. When you do not do what you have to do, what you have committed to, what scriptures tell us, the injunctions of scriptures, then you create sins of omission. And I'm bold enough to say that the majority of people are suffering from sins of omission. We live in a comfort zone. We think we're good. I don't do anything bad, which is good. But do you do what is good? What you're supposed to do? And devotees check and see how many small things in life we neglect. We refuse to carry out, thinking that is okay, that is okay. Big things you want to do. I've always said, you see, life is like a vehicle. You can have the biggest vehicle, big mag rims, paint in loud colors, have a heavy deck, whatever. If you don't tighten the wheel nuts, you're not going anywhere. The wheel nuts. Small part of the car. Everything working good. But if that wheel not tightened properly, the wheel is going to fly out, and where is the vehicle of life? This is what happens to us. This is what happens to us. And you know what? We must be that self-motivated that those small things that we need to do, people don't have to look at us to do those things. We don't have to have a slave driver. We don't have to have a supervisor. I must supervise myself, understand what my duties are, and carry out these small things in life. And one is to relentlessly pursue that divine. If I don't pursue that divine, devotees, my life is lost. It has no value. It has absolutely no value. So devotees, the idea is to bring God into our lives. And every act of ours should be aimed towards that. Every act of ours should be aimed towards that. So devotees, here I'll take a chaupai from Ayodhya Kand. When Bhagwan Sri Ram was speaking to Valmiki Muni, he asked Valmiki, "O Holy One, indicate a place for me to reside." Valmiki, recognizing Sri Ram to be that all-pervading Purush, that one without the second, he said, "Lord, tell me where you are not. If you tell me where you are not, I'll tell you where to stay. Because I recognize you to be all-pervading." Sri Ram couldn't say where he is not. Where is God absent, devotees? Hari Vyapak Sarvatra Samana. This is why we keep saying he is impartial witness. He is that external witness. And do you know we have an internal witness? All of us. Chitragupta. I keep telling you that over and over. Many Babas tell you Chitragupta is some fellow writing on everything you do. Which man can write on what 7 billion people in the world do? I don't know how many died. Chitragupta is the recording ability of your minds. That is the inner witness. You can't hide from yourself. And you can't hide from the external witness, Bhagwan. He sees and knows everything. Who are we fooling? Who are we fooling? Yet man continues to play his games. He continues to play his games to his detriment. Any side you turn, devotees, any side you turn, politically, spiritually, even religion, financially, socially, all how people play games to their detriment. And they will still persist in doing the same foolishness because they feel they're going to get away. Nobody gets away. So devotees, you have to be aware of this. So there's that inner witness, and he's everywhere, he's also inside. So what we are saying, let's not play games with him. Try to seek him. And devotees, we try to overcome all negativities. Here, Valmiki Muni is saying, "Prabhu, I know you are everywhere, in all places. But I want to lay down certain conditions where if a person practices and maintains these conditions, your presence must be felt. Dwell in such a person's heart." So devotees, just a chaupai or two. Bhagwan is listening, Valmiki Muni is saying.
जिनके कपट दंभन ही माया, जिनके कपट दंभन ही माया, जिनके हृदय बसहु रघुराया। जय राम श्री Sri Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Rama Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Rama Jaya Jaya Sita Rama Jaya Jaya Rama.
Kama, Krodh, Mada, Mana, and Moha. Valmiki Muni, I'm putting it very simply, he says, "Oh Lord, in the heart of that individual, where immoral temptation doesn't exist, anger doesn't exist, conceit doesn't exist, rivalry doesn't exist, delusion doesn't exist, neither does greed, attachment nor aversion, none of these internal enemies, so to speak. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mad, Matsarya, Sangyakau, Abhiman, Mamta, as we have been speaking during the course of Ganesh Jayanti. You have these 6 powerful enemies and their 2 allies. Right? So you have rivalry, you have anger, you have greed, you have lust, delusion, jealousy, etc. And you have, attachment and false pride. Once these don't exist in such a person's heart, oh Lord, जिनकी कपट पाखंड और छल नहीं है, that person doesn't fabricate, not even joke. He creates lies. Who is deceitful? Who is not deceitful, let's say. Without trick, straightforward. Oh Raghunath ji, unke hriday mein baas kijiye, dwell in such a person's heart. You see, devotees, spirituality cannot exist where there is hate and anger and lust and greed and jealousy and rivalry and attachment and deceit and whatever else, the host of impurities. Spirituality cannot exist. What the Katha is telling us here. If you want to develop spiritually, you have to overcome these negative tendencies. Overcome them, devotees. You have to overcome them. Bear that in mind. Again, Valmiki is saying,
सबके प्रिय सबके हितकारी दुख सुख सरेश प्रशंसा गारी सत्य प्रिय वचन विचारी जगत सोवत शरण तुम्हारी जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम.
Valmiki saying, "O Lord, that individual, sabke priya, who doesn't have any strange relationship with anybody else. In society, this one vexed with that one, that one vexed with that one, for trivial reasons. That person, sabke priya, karne wale, has a loving relationship with everybody. Sabke hitakari hai, and serves others dispassionately. The spirit of service to humanity. Life is like a flower in full bloom. We should give it away, petals, scent and all, to that garden who brought it into existence. This is the attitude. That person to whom unhappiness, happiness. Abuse, praises. They treat all alike. All alike. And you know why, devotees? Asha dukhasya karanam. Expectation is the cause of unhappiness. So when I am praised, I feel happy. When I am abused or criticized, condemned, I feel depressed. So the attitude has to change. That asha, that expectation. It means equanimity of mind. So Sri Ram Valmiki is saying, Sukh dukh gari prasansa sab saman hai. Who treats all these as one, equal, unaffected by praise or infamy. You know, criticism, praises, condemnation, doesn't matter. He treats all alike. That person who speaks lovingly to all, and to me it doesn't mean the sweet tone only. Because I could speak sugary honey tones, and you know, it could be accompanied with poison to kill you. When I look at prayer bachan, words for the benefit of all. For the benefit of all. Such an individual who speaks with such an attitude, such an intent. Aur jagata sovata sharan tumhari, waking, sleeping, whatever he is doing, that individual always seeks your protective shelter. You go to sleep, oh Lord, I'm in your palm, on your lap. You're waking, oh Lord, everything is for you. That attitude of surrendering to the Lord, seeking the Lord's protective shelter. Prabhu, such an individual looking for you, dwell in such a person's heart. Dwell in such a person's heart. So devotees, I want you to understand, it's not just go to the temple and praying, go to church and mosque and praying, and making these kind of sacrifices. More to it than that. Those things are good. But those things are aimed at helping us remove negativities. This is what we speak about here. You have to get rid of this negative conditioning. And when there's pure love in the heart, God is here. Otherwise, you could do what you want. You spin it up in mud. God doesn't come. Meaning you wouldn't feel His presence. So devotees, it is like as the farmer would do, to meticulously pluck out the weeds among the seeds he has sown. So too on a daily basis, each person must do introspection and pluck out the weeds of vices and negativities and allow the seeds of virtue to blossom. Then and only then, you're going to feel the presence of divinity. Boli Shri Raja Ramachandra ki.
Om Jai Swaha Mata Maya Jai Swaha Mata Tum Agni ki Shakti Tum Agni ki Shakti Tum Sachi Mata